Due to my father's incredibly poor performance, I'll be taking over ranking up that hill. Andy Dalton for $61 is crazy. Come on, Dad. Bye-bye.
I thought it was a reasonable fab position to take. Anyway, welcome to Bard. How you going?
I'm well, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm very good. Okay, and bringing up our fabulous spreadsheet for talking domination for another week. I thought about arriving in hoodie and glasses like you did last week and stealing your bit. And we both could have done that because we're just both dwelling down the bottom of this shit show at the moment.
Yeah, it's somehow like every player in the NFL is injured except the ones on my fantasy team, right? And yet I've still managed to find a way for my team to be terrible.
I feel that my team was a real pretender last week. I felt good about the score, but I felt like the bench depth was not there, and I think it's really showed this weekend. I'm feeling concerned about where to from here. But as always, we'll get into the show. Comment. We got a live comment from the Dr. Evil is here. Thank you, Jono.
Hey, Jono.
Love to see you. Let's get in with the program, and of course, our first segment is.
Timely that Jono is here, actually. So I think, one of the biggest stories, certainly in fantasy and in the NFL in general, over the past week was this absolute con job pulled on the entire football world by the San Francisco 49ers, who obviously everybody in that building knew that the McCaffrey injury was bad. Certainly much, much worse than they were letting on, right? And, obviously during the season, there's all these rules around what they have to disclose when it comes to player injuries. But preseason, they can basically do or say what they want, right? But, it impacted a massive amount of obviously gambling stuff around, NFC championship odds and Super Bowl odds for the 49ers, and obviously fantasy with, tens of thousands of people, dumping their number one pick or blowing like 35% of their auction draft on a guy who, quite frankly, they knew was not going to play and not going to be ready for the season, and just didn't tell anyone, right? So this fucking feels bad for all those people, and it sucks. And the 49ers are a despicable organization for pulling this absolute Swiftie on the football world. Anything to
The
add?
only person who benefited is Jono, who paid
Yeah.
no fantasy player, no waiver position, just picked him up, called his shot, home run, Jordan Mason season, and it's worked out amazingly for him.
He has benefited from the villainous conduct of Shanahan and the 49ers. So well done. But yeah, fuck that team, seriously. Sorry for swearing in front of.
No, that's right. She knows they're grown up.
If she does one more show this year, you're gonna have to pay her as a cast regular, I think.
Do you want to go to your room now and read, please?
What do you say?
Can you go to your room now and read, please?
Booze.
Right. You shut the door, please.
Booze.
Thank you. You ruined my production. Jono says he has inside knowledge. Interesting. Okay. This week on the Kingmaker's quote, I've imagined what a fabulous Big Papa Pump might have said one day at the Sunday gym as he was pumping up those biceps. I imagine it went something like this. What have I done to deserve this bullshit? I'm a kind man, a good person. Fuck you, CMC. Fuck you, Shanahan. Now, if you excuse me, I need to bench Achan for some reason. Big Papa Pump. Overheard at the gym.
We didn't even collaborate on this, and yet we've both hit the same theme in the opening salvo. Yeah,
it's the story of the week.
It really is. Yeah.
Okay. Into
Oh, another fine Photoshop job.
I like that Matthew Brown looks like a Cuban gangster, Hispanic gangster.
It's definitely his
What's up,
out of
Chico?
his aesthetic.
Okay, so the teams that you want to choose today are Hanson, Andy, and MB2. Here is MB2, the taco of the league, and his current team, pre-waivers and ad drops. This team has not been impressive the first 2 weeks of the year, even though it hasn't really suffered, like yourself, any of the significant injuries that have been suffered by most of the fantasy world.
Yeah, just a real down week. You've got Ayuk and Evans, who are both good receivers on good offenses, and somehow managed to not put up numbers. The Xavier Worthy experiment does not seem to have persisted through to week 2, unfortunately, for MB2. And Caleb Williams, people were buying the hype big time when they were watching Hard Knocks, but he is looking very much not ready for the pace of the NFL so far. What to be positive about? Saquon Barkley looks great. And I do think that Lamar will turn it around. The Ravens are 0-2, which is insane for how much talent they have on their team. I do think this team will turn around. But man, this was a real shit show in week 2. This did not feel good for Matt Brown.
Ayuk's got better days ahead with now Debo joining the never-ending injury list. So you'd think that that's going to be an uplift for Ayuk. I do feel the Jeff Wilson play was a mistake in management. I picked him up when Achane was not going to play. As soon as I knew Achane was playing, that's a drop for Jeff Wilson. He's not worth anything if Achane's playing. And he not only did he keep him, but he started him. Look, I know there wasn't a much.
Who's he going to put in, mate?
Yeah, he's a bit weak on the old running back position. I guess his boy is Zamir White, but he also appears to have wasted about $21 of fab. Not that I can really judge fab wasting, and neither can you, but $21 of fab on Lazard, the trap that Lazard set last week. It's like, oh, look, Lazard's back. No, he's not.
Yeah, we'll talk more about fab to come, but I think the jury is still out on which of us has wasted the most of it.
And now to our winner of our week, Handsome Andy is flying.
Look at him go. Look at Kamara, mate.
Oh, look, that Kamara pick is without doubt 2 weeks in the best pick of the draft in value. No one expected this from him, and this is 2 weeks in a row. No one expected this from the Saints. They just towered up the Cowboys.
Highest scoring team in the NFL through 2 weeks. Never been a better time to have done a Saints homer draft, which is kind of what he's done. He probably regrets not starting Derek Carr as well for the full stack. But yeah, this team is looking unbelievable through a couple of weeks. DK Metcalf lighting it up. Calvin Ridley somehow over there in Tennessee, like the only person doing anything on that offense. You love to see it for Handsome Andy.
I think this team's looking in a great position. I think he should be starting Derek Carr over Herbert from now on. He's got the Robinson brothers stack. They're not actually brothers, but the Robinson stack, which I was really into Brian Robinson. If I could have got him in the draft, I think Andy sniped me by one pick. He's got the great running back position with Kamara and the two Robinsons. Alave could only get better. Like, they're performing like this, and he's not performing at the heights you would have expected. So he's about the weakness, but he's definitely got room to go. And then the bench, I think, looks really good. He's definitely got one of the best coverages in Carr as a backup quarterback. Moss is still getting, believe it or not, the most of the touches in this backfield, though I hold out hope that Chase Brown can take it, considering Moss is terrible. But he has the Algier backup for Bijan as well, which is a perfect position to be in the case that Bijan were to go down. Spears, if Pollard got injured, isn't a fantastic player to have, so it's a good little stash there. And Hockenson will come back later, probably earlier than people expected now that the Vikings are actually pretty good, to improve and give him another option for team management at tight end. I think it's a fantastic position.
It is. I like this team a lot. I think he's on the rise.
It's a very strong team with a very good bench, which is what you want to be. Okay. Into our top comment segment. The comments were a bit weaker this week than last week, so everyone needs to lift their game. We all regret the loss of the smug father. Hopefully, he refuses to bring it back, but you know he's just itching to. I'll start with this great one from Matthew Brown, continuing to prove his relevance to the league and the chat by way of dropping pictures of all the Mahomes, Kelsey image ones. This one was by far my favorite. It looks like a still from a Disney-made TV movie where a dog and cat get transformed into people.
My wife also enjoyed this one, and she does love a good Mahomes Kelsey meme.
So that was some quality work. Thank you, Matthew Brown, for that. I also have this one from Stu where he explained why he didn't start A-Shane. And I particularly posted it because he used the word ninny muggins. He's a real ninny muggins.
Got away with words, does old Stu, didn't he?
This is a real boomer comment. A real ninny muggins.
I feel like it's even old-fashioned for boomers. Like it's from the 1890s.
I enjoyed that one from Stu. You here criticizing you love the old Dr. Quadfather jokes. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Literally. Anytime any player hobbles off the field, Kurt's like, he's done, cocking the shotgun, take him at the back and put him down.
Mixon did go into the tunnels. He went into the rooms. He wasn't in the tent.
Every player does that 3 times a game.
Oh, I lost it. I've also got this one, great one from Jono. There was a whole paragraph of crap Kurt put before this. And then he said, I remember last year finishing 7th highest score, the most out of anyone else, because he just narrowly lost or whatever. Turns out it might be the case again this year. And Jono's fantastic comment here. I really want to be upset for you, but it's hard.
We may have lost a smug father, but we do still get a lot of just really extensive commentary about his own team from Kurt.
The pity father, maybe? No, he is. Yeah. But the top comment of the week, it goes to a series of comments that include both of us, where you made a jag at me about saying that James's team was horrible. I referenced my credibility going down in flames, and you made a fantastic comment about the trick is to start with no credibility, and then Tex, proving that he watched the show for the 3rd time perhaps, called you out for suggesting that Stu was going to beat him somehow, which was a very bold call last week, an incredibly bold call.
I'm gonna double down on the bold calls this week, but we'll come to that later.
Look, in your defense, you probably thought he'd start an elite running back once you had confirmation he was playing on the Thursday and the Friday morning. All right, into the absolutely fabulous. The first one, the big news dropped today that Kareem Hunt had been re-signed. He's come home to the Chiefs. I must say, before this news got announced, I had a lot of fab, perhaps on a different player. And then I'm like, nah, that player's going to do jack shit. It's Kareem Hunt season. I only went for $13. Jono went hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation baked into the amount of money that's gone down here for Kareem Hunt. I don't think anybody really knows what to expect. It's hard to look past the fact that if Kareem Hunt had it in him to be like a workhorse running back in the NFL, then arguably he would have been doing that on one of the 32 teams already instead of sitting on the couch waiting for a call. So this seems like a pretty big shot from John. Having said that, I think of all the teams in the league to take this punt at the end of week 2, I think Jono's pretty well positioned. He's, as we sort of mentioned at the outset, he's sort of lucked his way into a pretty good running back position, so he can probably afford to speculate a little bit here. But he's misjudged the market and he's overpaid by a pretty hefty chunk, which hopefully he doesn't regret later in the season.
there's a lot of ambiguity on what's going to happen there. There was Carson Steele. We'll talk to him about him later. P. Ryan's there, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on non-injury leave for post-traumatic stress. Apparently, wonder what the PTSD is about. Anyway, so he's on IR for that, but can come back at week 4 if he's mentally able to. Which presumably he is. What's he doing on the list if he's not going to come back at some point?
Yeah, so there's a lot of moving parts to this one, and I don't mind a speculative ad here, but that's much more than a speculative ad. That's a big chunk of money. But yes, yeah, John, we know that he'll do nothing this week. That's not really the point.
Yeah, that's very common from him. Hunt will do nothing this week, playing the long game. Check will be back in a few weeks.
I hope it works out. We'll revisit it on the show.
Okay, now talking about dropping a lot of money on an old guy that wasn't doing anything, we have Andy Dalton.
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing I'll say about this is I'm not really sure what you're expecting to happen for the Carolina offense under Andy Dalton that wasn't happening under Bryce Young. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think even in a 12-team 2-quarterback league, I'm not sure that the Red Rocket should be owned, let alone paid $61 for. But feel free to defend your position.
Well, I've only gone over the market by 26. So to be fair, the market set below me was Jared, so maybe it's not the best expectation of spending. But I'm in a situation where I feel my team is very weak in depth. I didn't even have a backup quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is not looking great. Anthony Richardson is highly questionable as potentially a player, what he might score me each week, and even to play this week where he is potentially injured. I felt that I needed some security for one of those guys. And I felt that Dalton, who has a good schedule after there's 2 games, and he has a very good schedule, will be able to be a bit better, especially when their number 1 first-round draft pick running back, whatever his name is, I'm forgetting, comes back off IR, and they'll have a better running offense as well. So I would assume my guess is for Andy Dalton, he starts, say, the next 12 games, and then they bring Bryce Young back to see if they've got anything worth it at all before they turf him finally and draft someone again. So Brooks, yes, thank you. Brooks is the guy that will come in and improve the running offense. So that's what I'm hoping for, but I appreciate it's a lot of money, but I felt I needed to cover myself.
I like how you've been bemoaning the absence of the smug father. So in order to invoke his return, you've brought back like the gunslinger, fab wasting Kingmaker.
Well, that was the one thing I did poorly last year, not gunslinging the fab. So, not saying it's working out this year. I think I've returned to old habits, to be honest. And then it's me again here with $27 on Quentin Johnson. That's only $12 over the next bid. I think that's a justified amount of money. I feel very good about that. Okay.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Next, we have Stu putting... let's go back again. Sorry, I want to talk about one thing. I love the world that Stu lives in, where he thinks that a $0 bid on Andy Dalton is going to get him.
I was wondering about this. I was speculating, like, out of the 0 or the $61 bid, which one I thought was closer to the actual true value of Andy Dalton, and it might be his, to be honest. But
well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll continue Dalton watch for the rest of the year. Stu threw $21 on P. Ryan. That's not where I was going to go with this offense, but I guess you take the punt.
I mean, he's been there, right? And they don't really want to involve him in the offense, so I don't know why that would change now.
And the Hunt signing makes you even less interested for me.
Yeah, I don't want to run at all.
Next, Jared has reached for the Skylar. Bit of a Timmy and the Lords of the Underworld reference there for those that watch South Park. Remember that?
I guess that makes one of us.
Do you remember that episode of South Park?
No.
Well, anyway, the lead guitarist of the Timmy and the Lord of the Underworlds was named Skylar, and he broke away from the band in miserable circumstances and called his debut album "Reach for the Skylar." So there's a team name for you, Jared. Jared went $15 on this. Tex went $9. I don't think this guy is any good whatsoever. I'm very worried as the owner of Tyreek Hill.
Couldn't you have just paid like $20 for this guy and at least had a chance at some big plays from Tyreek Hill? Like, what are you going to get from the Red Rocket in Carolina, mate? Like, I actually like this a lot more than your fab bid.
This guy is horrible. Horrible.
I'm not sure that Andy Dalton's any good, mate. Like,
I'm trusting in the Red Rocket.
all this guy has to do is like get the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill, like 5 yards slant, and just like 1 or 2 plays a game, just stand back and watch the magic, and that's all you need.
As someone who watched his Dolphin games, his last 2 games, we're not as good as you think we are. And I'm hoping we sign Tom Brady or something, to be honest. That's the hope for me as a Dolphins fan.
How much, if it was announced, like, let's say Monday next week that the Dolphins had signed Tom Brady, how much do you think he'd go for in the next round of waivers now league?
I would have lost, or I would not have enough fab, and I'd be cursing Andy Dalton's name.
Do you think somebody would pay $200 for him?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as his receivers.
I don't like. He's getting paid a lot more as an announcer than he would as a player. So
he got a lot of criticism. Apparently, he wasn't very good.
No, he wasn't. But,
yeah. Maybe just like Bryce Young needs to go back to the locker room and watch some more tape before he comes back again later in the season, Tom Brady needs to go back and watch some more commentary video. Maybe you can watch this show before he goes and does his special comments.
If you are watching, g'day, Tom.
And now we have a few of the non-contested bids. $13 on a streaming defense is insane. We said it last week. It's too much.
Yes, I don't know what you are getting at there, Jono.
This is $0. That's fine. Perfectly good. And then I would say potentially the steal. Jono says yes, it's too much. Obviously, he regrets that as well. The steal of the absolutely fabulous this week is Carter getting Carson Steele. You like that? The steal is for $5 because look, there's a good chance this guy isn't the guy, but if he is the guy, $5 uncontested is a huge outcome.
I agree. Also, like, can we just take a moment to reflect on the fact that the player drop for this is DeAndre Hopkins, once a consensus first round fantasy pick a few years ago.
It's a sad moment for DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm afraid it's over for you. This could be. I had $5 on Carson Steele, and I must have taken it off. I don't know why. I probably thought he was going to go for more than that. You know, you had all the money on Hunt. We've got $21 on Perry, and Steele has just as much chance of being the guy.
I mean, I'm envious of this pickup. Great name, great hair. What more do you want?
He owns a pet crocodile.
Oh yeah, he's the crocodile guy. Yeah. Mate, you could build a franchise around this bloke.
So great work, Carter. Carter's already got a very impressive team, and this could only make it even better. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
So Tex has moved into.
Just before you start, I know a little bit about what Jono did in the military, and I'm pretty sure he never fired that gun.
Hey, look, he served. Salute. Tex has moved into the all-time cumulative weeks record holder for the belt. He's held the belt more than anyone. He might hold it for the rest of time. And now he is the official leader of that position with the win this week. Jono is, of course, the last person to hold the belt before Tex, having delivered it to the office in great circumstances of concern and mystery. That was in week 14 last year. He has also held it for only 1 week less than Tex. He was in equal first, but has been bumped off that by Tex's win. And if he were to win this, he would equal Tex's amount of times held it. So they really are, with another person, the long-term custodians of the belt, playing for it this week. And as we look into their team, this would have been done pre-waivers. I apologize because I did my work earlier. I did my homework earlier. So I don't have the names at the top. My apologies. I will improve this next week. Jono here on the left. Hertz is looking good. He's lost Pacheco, but he's got Jordan Mason. Drake London looked really good last week. I'd be very worried about Waddle coming into this week with Reach for the Skylar. How do you feel about Texas starting 5 here, Badams?
Not great, if I'm being honest. Probably Josh Allen's the only one there I'm even a little bit excited to have in my fantasy lineup. Zay Flowers is like a bit of a feel bad start, because if he has a good game, it's going to be in service of delivering a second straight loss to his beloved Dallas Cowboys. So not a great deal to feel great about there. I don't know. Texas team has been winning and winning comfortably, but I don't know. Once again, I'm gonna pick against him this week, I think.
Well, based on this start, we'll see. I agree. Ford also lost a lot of carries to Foreman this week, so he was less the bell cow he was in week 1. McBride still not quite there, or is he better this week?
I don't know how he went this week. I know that Arizona scored a lot of points.
I think he was better.
So they smashed the Rams, yeah.
Allen's out, but I'm sure he's got some bench cover for it. Daniels is looking pretty good for at least a rushing quarterback. On Texas side, what do you think about these guys?
Brandon Aubrey is maybe one of the best players in fantasy. I don't particularly rate anybody else on the screen at the moment. I don't know how he's doing it. These players are not exciting. But yeah,
Jono's jumped in here. 18.7. That must have been for McBride. So McBride did deliver this week. So
yeah. I have been criticized for maybe not making great predictions here, but I'm gonna double down. My prediction is that Jono is going to claim the belt this week. Sorry, Tex.
Yeah, I'm in a similar position. I was really keen on Jared Goff from a drafting point of view, and he's not been particularly great. I've got him in some other leagues. He's been really disappointing. And now Amon-Ra probably won't play this week, so that's more of a hit. Andrews has been average, but seriously, tight ends across the board have been not great. It makes me really pleased to be in a league where I don't have to start one, because I'm not going to worry about it this week. And but Smith and Jigma looked really good this week. He stepped up, so that could continue. With the bench cover, Jono's bench is not strong. He might even play double tight ends this week, actually, given Taysom Hill might be out. He's dropped Lloyd for Kareem Hunt, who probably wouldn't get many touches this week. Brooks isn't playing. I don't know how you feel about starting Swift, McConkey. Like, to me, it's maybe in a Pitts double, but we'll have to see. Tex has lost Cooper Kupp now for a number of weeks. His Walker may or may not be back. Zeke is sort of splitting carries with Dowdle. You don't want anyone other than them. So yeah, both of these benches are pretty weak. I agree that I think Jono will win. Okay. All right. So for this week, I don't have a ranking. A lot of people didn't like the rankings last week. There was a lot of people really attached to their team names, it seems. A lot of vitriol about it, to be honest. Not since the great bench press debate of 2024 have we had so much outrage about my rankings. So I don't have a ranking theme for this week. I'm doing something a bit different for the next 2 weeks. But if anyone in the league would like me to rank something, you've got something completely arbitrary that you want me to rank, Send it through. I will rank it. It's better if it connects with the league, but we'll go with that. I will be assigning in this segment over the next 2 weeks positions on an NFL team, an actual NFL team for the members of this league. 6 of us will be on defense. Do not take offense if you're on defense. It doesn't mean you're a bad player. That's just where I thought you were best suited. Everyone, we need people to play defense. 6 of you will be on offense. Now, the criteria of this in my own head is about 5% could you play the position, physically, mentally, whatever. 5% just like, that's about it. 5% and 95% vibe, just vibe. Who gives off the vibe of that particular position?
Yeah.
Right? So don't worry about it if I put you in a position. It's just vibe. All right. I'll give some explanations. So starting with the defense this week, we have in the outside linebacker / edge rusher, depending on if we're doing 4-3 or 3-4. I have you. I've got you in this position.
Do you know how many people in this league have actually played American football?
The Sluter and you.
Well, Sluter's not in the league. I'm the only one that's actually played. Do you know what position I played?
What?
I played defensive end, which is very, very similar to edge rusher.
Yeah. I had you in like defensive end, edge rusher, outside linebacker, but it's very much that I have you with the intensity to be running hard at that quarterback, whether you're playing outside linebacker close or defensive end as an edge rusher. Either or, you're going hard at that position.
Good call.
Yeah, there you go. That's my vibe. Now, don't take this. Do you know when I told this concept to Kurt? He said I should give myself long snapper. Tell me he's not the smug long snapper. Fuck's sake.
That's a great burn.
So he didn't like the position I've given myself. But this one comes largely down to my skills in athletics are my intelligence and not anywhere near my physical ability. Also, I shouldn't be touching the ball. So I've chosen the position that requires the most intelligence but doesn't touch the ball, which is the middle linebacker.
Okay.
That's my reason.
Middle linebacker, traditionally the enforcer of the defense, leading the way in terms of physicality and aggression. So this,
but they're the one,
a little bit of a stretch if we're being honest, Chris, but go off.
Middle linebackers read the play, they change it up. They're the ones who have to know the plays. They're the smart ones.
They sure. Okay, carry on.
In the next position, I have a defensive end, MB2. I didn't really know where to put MB2, so I put him here.
He's short and stocky. I would have put him on the O-line, to be honest, but...
yeah, I've got I don't really have offensive tackles. For the O-line, I've only got a center, because who really wants to otherwise be on the O-line? Next, we have the nose tackle. I know I don't have a nose tackle form here. I appreciate I've got 2 defensive tackles, but we're doing a nose tackle for the 4-3, and I could see Jono being right in there as like a nose tackle.
Good call.
Just like in there, big, controlling those 2 guys.
Yep.
In the cornerback, I have Handsome Andy. I just think he's the guy that almost played wide receiver and then didn't, and we still got the like intensity and flair to play quarterback.
Yeah, I like that.
And in safety, I have Johnny Fantasy. He's tall. He's fit. He could play a variety of positions when needed. He could be relied upon by the coach to cover the last line of defense.
Sure.
Right, so that's the defense. If you're not in this list, congratulations. You made the offense. Look forward to your coverage next week on which star position of the offense you have been awarded.
Can't wait.
And I look forward to all your criticism and vitriol about the positions I've assigned you in the chat during the week.
I reckon this. Look, I haven't seen the lineup for the offense yet, but I reckon this defense is looking pretty good, and I'd back us in, mate.
Oh, good. Well, I'll have to compare that when we get to the offense. We'll line it up and see how these guys pair up. Yeah. Okay, and finally, we have a final segment. Jono's trying to call his own entrance music. I'm sorry, mate. They will be assigned at my discretion, not yours. You can't just request a song because it's a banger. The principles here is the lyrics need to fit the person and the player and the way they roll in this league in particular. Real life, to be damned, their vibe, their style in this league. Just before I get to it, there's a comment. Jono likes the defense.
Yeah.
He's happy being the nose tackle. All right, so this week we will be doing the entrance music for Tyson. I don't know if he watches the show or not. I think he's the least likely.
Very unlikely.
least likely. He's just here on the peripheral. But nonetheless, everyone gets their music. And we haven't talked about Tyson much over these last 2 weeks, so I thought it was time to mention him and bring up his music. I'll take it away.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win it, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid, your boy hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now.
What do you think of that one?
That was good. There was a slightly laboured effort on the part of that lyricist to incorporate the word Colgate. And I think you've nailed the whole like energy and vibe of like third year Tyson in the league, right?
Yeah. So he gets John Cena, legendary wrestler John Cena's music. My time is now, and I think that's what he'd say. His time is now. Will it be his time? He's looking pretty good, but I don't know. He's always going to have to top that incredible first-year performance. That's it for the show this week. Do you have any final comments, Bard?
I am playing the artist formerly known as the Smug Father this week, I believe. So I'm expecting plenty of spicy chat from old mate as the week progresses. I'm definitely the underdog, but yep, hopefully it'll be certainly very satisfying to notch up the first win of the year and send the 4-time champ packing. So wish me luck.
And I've got MB2. Surely that's something I can win, right? Like Tim's not that good. Surely. Let's just hope. Just hope. Anyway, that is it for this week. Thank you for joining us or for watching it later. We will see you next week.
Adios.